Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy you are here. As leaders, we are stretched thin. It's just the reality, especially if you're in a middle or a frontline leadership role. There are only 40 hours in our work week, and you probably have a lot of weeks where you are wondering, how in the world am I going to get all of this done? This is normal and common for most leaders, especially those that are new to the role. That's why in this week's podcast, we are going to talk about time management. Being able to best manage their time is one of the most common concerns I hear from leaders. Between a mountain of meetings, tasks, projects, strategic thinking, and lunch and breaks, and all the new things that they're learning within their role, 40 hours can go by in a flash. You blink, and the next thing you know, it's Friday at 3 p.m., and your to-do list is still a mile long. Plus, you are totally exhausted and can't even complete a thought. You found yourself in this cycle of stress and overwhelm week to week, and it's all just snowballing on you. You've tried different planners, time management systems, calendars, and routines, and none of them are working. Sound familiar? From the moment that we wake up in the morning, we are living from the outside in. We look at our to-do list, our calendar, and our email, and then we start taking actions based on what we feel we need to get done that day. We are doing all day. All this causes us to feel overwhelm, stress, comparison, worry, and unhappiness. It feels as if things are out of control and we are running on that hamster wheel every day. You're just going through the motions, trying to survive, making it to Friday, and then spending your Sunday night and or Monday morning dreading that you are going to do it all over again. It might be hard to see right now, but it doesn't have to be this way. And if you know that there is a better way, but you don't know how to get there, hang with me because I'm going to cover that today. Now, if you can, close your eyes for a moment, and if you can't, it's okay. But imagine being in control of your days, feeling like you have a handle on your calendar. You feel clear, calm, confident, and engaged in your day. You move from meeting to meeting with ease, and you have time in between those meetings to gather your thoughts and take some notes, maybe even step away and take a small break before your next meeting starts. When you look at your calendar, you actually have large blocks in your calendar where you don't have meetings and you actually have time for strategic thinking and personal development work. You get to Friday at 3 p.m. and the majority of your priorities and to-dos are done. You go into the weekend with a clear mind from work and are fully present with your family and your personal activities. You don't even think about work until 8 a.m. on Monday because you know the prior week you worked with intention throughout the entire week, and you'll be able to start your Monday focused on that current week ahead. No more checking emails on your phone in the evenings and weekends, because if you don't, you'll start your week out behind. Because again, you have a handle on everything. This can be your reality You can do it. Some people will accomplish what they need to and move towards their goals. Others, they will not take action. They will get overwhelmed and make little to no progress towards their goals. So, what is the difference between them? It's all in their being. It's their being doing the doing that creates the difference in doing things in a certain way or not doing them at all. Busy and overwhelmed, they exist in your mind. Busy is not a fact. Overwhelm is not a fact. They are the stories that you are telling yourself based on your current beliefs and your feelings. They are emotions that you are choosing to generate. They are not facts of life. Time management is a myth. There are 24 hours in a day. This is the same for everyone, and nothing that you do is going to change the amount of time in a day. You don't manage time. You can't manage time. It is what it is. What you can do is manage yourself in using the time that you have wisely. So stop trying to manage time and start trying to manage your mind around the time that you have in your day. You've probably searched high and low for the right planner, the right calendar, the right routine. You've watched videos on how to use them, maybe taken a couple courses, and spent countless dollars on buying all these different time management tools. And you might find that maybe they do work for a short period of time, but you find yourself ending up in the same place time and time again. Well, I'm here to tell you that all the planners, they work. All the calendars work. All the routines work. And all the time management programs and systems, they all work. It's not about the system or the routine. I do think it is important to have a system and routine, but that's not the basis of how you best manage your time. It's all about you. In order for that system to be able to work, you have to be working on you and how you are thinking and feeling about time. It's all about how you are managing your mind around the time that you have. And it's all about how you are uniquely designed to work. So I want to ask you a question for you to think about. And that is, what is your current relationship with time? Does it stress you out? Do you see it as a limited resource or as a choice that you get to make each day? Do you think time is working for you or against you? Our relationship with time is what is causing us to feel the current lack that we have. So it's critical that we are working on our relationship with time. Take the time to really contemplate your relationship with time. Write it down. That will give you the opportunity to see it, to really study it, and identify patterns that may be coming up for you in how you feel, see, and or use your time in a day. And that'll give you the opportunity to really understand what is your relationship with time. That will give you kind of the basis and the foundation to start working on how you can manage your mind around your time. Managing your mind versus time is the secret to all the time management strategies. It's the secret to making the planner or the routine or the system work for you. And it's also the secret to finding which one of those is right for you and how you think and feel and how you are designed to work. When you can manage your mind, you will be amazed at what you are able to accomplish each week and do that in a way that makes you feel great about the time that you are spending and when you are finished with those particular tasks. Now, there are so many things that are costing us time that we don't even realize. Those are things like indecision, going back and forth, distractions, scrolling social media. That's a really big distraction that we tend to not think about. And it's something that you can easily lose hours in, right? Constantly checking your email and reacting then to the needs of others, not planning in advance, doing tomorrow's work today. That's one that really hits home for me when I think about my time management and where I've had some challenges. Procrastination is another one. Taking passive action and choosing overwhelm and blaming time. If a common thought that you have is, I just don't have enough time, I encourage you to take a step back and ask yourself, is this actually true? Or have you just committed to a lot of unnecessary things? Are you actually being efficient? Or have you assumed a great deal of waste in your life and in your leadership? Think back to the list that I just shared, and how many of those did you relate with? And be honest with yourself when you think back to that list and you think back to how your weeks and your months have gone. You might relate with more of those than you might initially realize. There are so many questions that we can ask ourselves when it comes to time, and we have many options in how we can create time. And yes, we can create time even though we can't add more hours to the day. Ways for us to create time in our weeks and our months. We can do things like planning ahead, making decisions in advance, focusing on today's work, delegating where it's appropriate for us to do so, practicing calendar integrity, which means that what's on our calendar is what we do within the time that we've dedicated to it. A big one that I know many leaders struggle with is saying no. As a leader, you can say no. It's perfectly okay for you to do so. We can create routines and habits that actually work for us. Committing to our goals and moving forward with them. And being the leader that we truly desire to be. Now, this all probably sounds great, and you are wondering, okay, well, what can I do? Well, it all starts with being crystal clear on the outcome that you are looking for. Not just in the short term, but in the long term. So what is the outcome that you have for the current week, your month, the quarter, and the year? What is it that you need to achieve week to week? And as you go through your days, focus on that current day. Don't do tomorrow's work today. If it's on your calendar for tomorrow, leave it there. Don't think about it. Be focused on what it is that you have today. When you are focused too much on the future and not the present, you generate stress and overwhelm. Give today's work your best self. Be present and focused. Feelings like anxiety, tension, stress, and worry, they are created when you are too focused on the future. And feelings like guilt, regret, resentment, and bitterness, those are created when you're too focused on the past. So be here now, in the present moment, and focused on what you need to do today. Next, what you can do is really take some time to think about, who do you need to be to get the result that you've defined that you want. So now that you know that outcome that you desire and what you need to do to achieve that outcome, take some time to contemplate and be clear on who you need to be. So who is the person that achieves the outcome that you said you wanted? What are their strengths, their traits, their demeanor, their attitude? What are they motivated by? What do they care about? How are they perceived by others? Take time to really contemplate who you need to be. Find a quiet, distraction-free place and let all of your thoughts flow out on paper so that way you can really see and get that visual of who it is that you need to be to get the result that you determined that you wanted. And finally, take action. Block out dedicated time on your calendar for what you need to accomplish for the week ahead and get to it. If you can plan in advance, block things out a month, a quarter, for the whole year. Sometimes you might know your schedule. Put things on the calendar and block that time so you know that you have it in your calendar and you don't plan other things around it. A huge part of being able to effectively manage your time is taking that intentional, meaningful action. You've got to get in motion on the things that move the needle towards your goals and your dreams. Trying different methods, like maybe the Eisenhower matrix or the Pomodoro method or the planner that you believe is going to work for you, are things that you can implement. And I do encourage you to try a system or a tool because that might help hold you accountable and help you keep yourself organized. I would recommend that you give it at least a month, maybe 2, because everything new feels weird and uncomfortable to start. And if you find that it's working for you, keep going and make changes as you go. And if it's not working, then scrap it and try something else. It's trial and error to find the system that works for you, but make sure before you start looking for that system, you know the outcomes that you are looking for, and you know who you need to be to get that result, because those are 2 key pieces that will help you in determining what type of system truly is going to work best for you. Success in life and leadership is that series of successful days strung together. Every day is a building block of success. Every day is made up of how you show up, the actions that you take, the thoughts you are thinking, and how you are choosing to spend your day. You can't do anything about the past or the future. You can only impact the current moment that you are in. I love this quote from Steve Chandler. He said, "The best futures get created in the current moment. The worst thing is to be so worried about your future, you miss creating it right now, right here in the present moment. The only place it can ever be created." I love that quote, and it speaks so much to how it is that we need to manage our mind around time. So I encourage you, stop worrying about the past and the future and be present in the current moment. Knowing the outcome you desire, who you need to be to get there, understanding where your challenges, pitfalls, and strengths are is key to how you use your time and how you manage your mind around that time. Focus on the thoughts you are thinking and if they are serving what you are going after and what you need to accomplish. Focus on who you are being and ensuring that it aligns with what you desire. The energy that you bring to your days is the energy that you will get out of them. So make sure that you are taking the actions and you have the thoughts and the beliefs that generate the energy you need to be able to get through your days. As you head into your week, stop trying to manage time and focus on managing your mind. You've got this, and I believe in you. Now that's a wrap for this week's topic on time management. I hope you enjoyed it and you can see how you can think differently about your weeks. I'd love to hear some thoughts and feedback with you, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or join my exclusive community for leaders on Facebook and let me know what your thoughts are. How is it that you are going to choose some different actions, and how is it that you best manage your mind around the time that you have in a day? Until next week, lead with confidence, and show up every day as the leader you are striving to be. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.